This is by far the biggest merge tactics update ever. There's a new ruler, new cards, ruler quests, and traits are getting reworked. I don't know all the nitty gritties yet of the update, but I have skimmed the article, so let's go through all the new things together. Okay, so the brand new ruler is the ruler queen, and her ability is that she spawns a tombstone, and once it's destroyed, she rises from the building to join the fight. I mean, I guess that's just literally Hero Tombstone. Oh, and then if we go to this Trophy Road, I think the Echo Sage is now going to be on the Trophy Road. Yeah, the Echo Sage is there instead of the King. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how the community is going to receive that, but yeah, free Echo Sage now. Okay, but this is the really interesting thing. There's now Ruler Quest, a completely new mechanic. And basically, these are actually quests you complete within each game. And each ruler has 3 ruler quests. So, for example, the Tomb Queen here, you need to summon 10 troops for the first quest, 25 troops for the second quest, and 80 troops for the third quest. So, I guess the third one is like kind of ridiculous. And then if you go to, let's say, the King here, he has his own ruler quest, lose 2 rounds, that's his first quest, lose 3 rounds, that's his second quest, and then lose 4 rounds is his third quest. Now, if you complete the first quest, you will get a quest 1 orb, which has very specific rewards. You can either get a 1-star troop. There's a list of them. Not going to go through all the troops. You can either get 5 elixir or you can get a piece of equipment. If you complete the second quest, you get a different type of orb where you get a 2-star troop, 10 elixir, or another piece of equipment. It's different equipment from the first quest orb. And then if you do the third quest, you get a distinct quest 3 orb, which gives you a 3-star troop, 20 elixir, or a different piece of equipment that's different from the quest 1 or quest 2 orbs. So basically, if you do a quest, you get an orb in which you get either a troop of a certain star level, depending on the quest you complete, a certain amount of elixir, or a piece of equipment. Now, this honestly is a really huge mechanic because this adds way more depth to the game. And I think it'll definitely balance out certain rulers, maybe increase like the gap between rulers. Because, for example, I mean, the rewards seem insane. For the quest 3 orb, you get 20 elixir, but for the king, you lose 4 rounds in a game. I mean, I guess that does sound pretty hard because if you lose four, it's very easy for you to die. Let's look at the Spirit Ember. 50 troops in one game merging. That sounds pretty hard. The Goblin Queen, her quest is get 25 goblins from. I mean, okay, so the quest 3 is very hard, but you get a really juicy reward, I guess. And then there's also new equipment, but I actually want to talk about the troops first because I think the equipment will make more sense. So there's 2 things with these troops. Number one, there's a lot of new troops that I'll get into. But number two, as I mentioned before, the traits are getting reworked. So let's go over the first point. New troops. Number one, as you can see, there's a lot of new faces here. We have the Boss Bandit. So the Boss Bandit is the forest trait, and basically the Boss Bandit will dash back 3 tiles every few hits. So it's basically just like the regular Boss Bandit. The Firecracker is also the new forest trait, and she damages targets behind like in a cone formation. So basically how she does normally, and she'll get knocked back 1 hex every few hits. The Goblin Cage is a goblin, and I mean this is pretty simple. Like when the cage is broken, the Goblin Brawler will just come out. So it's just literally the Goblin Cage. Okay, so the Magic Archer is forced, but the wording in the document's kind of weird. It says shoots a Magic Archer that reflects the next target in 2 hexes every few hits. So I think it's just normal, but every few hits, it's like the piercing effect, I think. So that's it for the completely new troops. There's also some returning troops. Number one is the Bomber. Number two is the Mega Knight, but he's now the boss rarity, which only you can receive through orbs. And these orbs, I believe, as I mentioned, you'll get through completing quests or in certain modifiers. The third returning troop is Mini P.E.K.K.A. He's also boss. And if you notice, there are a lot more troops this season, and that's because there are 34 troops in the card pool. However, 25 of them you'll get normally through the shop, but 9 of them you will only get through orbs. So in reality, you can only buy 25 cards from the actual shop. So it's not going to like kill the Empress or anything like that. The 9 cards you can only get from quest orbs are going to be the Giant, Royal Giant, Goblin Cage, Skeleton Dragons, Baby Dragon, P.E.K.K.A., Mini P.E.K.K.A., Mega Knight, and Monk. And as I mentioned earlier, troops only have 1 trait now. This is a huge rework, meaning that there are a lot fewer traits now. So there's only 6 traits now. There's Noble, Clan, Goblin, Boss, Undead, and Forest. So Forest gives your lowest HP invisibility and bonus hit speed for 2.5 seconds every few seconds. And then, as I mentioned before, bosses you can only get through orbs, but they get bonus damage and HP. And then the rest of the traits, we already, had in the past. When I first heard about this change, I didn't really know how to feel about it because this is by far the biggest change in the update in my opinion. I personally dislike it, but I guess we'll see. However, what I mentioned earlier is that there are new equipments. Some of these equipment, for example, the clan horn. Equipped troop gains clan trait. So you can just put this clan horn on like a non-clan troop and it will gain the clan trait. So that's the only way that you can actually give a troop 2 traits. So you can still technically give a troop 2 traits, but you're gonna have to use the equipment. And there's an equipment piece like that for every single trait except the boss trait. And then the final thing are the new modifiers. There actually seem to be quite a lot of new modifiers. They're usually not too interesting, but I'll pick out the most interesting ones. Okay, I actually just looked through all these modifiers. These modifiers are actually like they cooked with these, but I'll pick out my 2 favorites because I can't go through all of them. Okay, so this one is you actually get a dummy, and if the dummy dies, you lose a round. That's how this is what we call a modifier. And then this one, all troops cost 3 elixir. I think that's pretty huge. So they like actually cooked this season with the modifiers. Like I'm not even just saying that. And the final change is that after you die, you can actually spectate other people. So yeah, that's gonna be it for all the new changes in the update. I'm just gonna play like half of a game just to show you guys the new Tomb Queen. And I also just kind of want to see the spectating. So yeah, I mean, every troop only has 1 trait. That's so weird to see. You get a tombstone though. I feel like maybe you put it in the back. Maybe like the second to last lane. Because I feel like you should protect it, but also not have it as the last building. Because I don't think buildings count. We also get an orb. Goblin orb. This is like, I don't know. This is very different. Like, I'm not capping or like over... What is a word? Like, I don't know. I'm not capping when I say like this is the biggest update by far. Because this update like literally genuinely changes everything. Like how the game's played. Like the game will not... Okay, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, did the Tomb Queen like leave? Like this update, like it genuinely changes how the game's played. Like, cause that's the thing, right? Like last season, I genuinely could not care, like, cause there was like no new content basically. Let me just try to get some of the new troops though. All right, I gotta try out the new boss bandit. We have the forest trait, the boss bandit, and the magic archer as well. Okay, this just spawned a skeleton. I feel like this ruler is actually kind of good. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty decent. You get a free skeleton every round. Oh, okay, and it just leveled up as well. Okay, but that's a new ruler. I just want to see what happens with the spectating thing. So I'm just going to sell my board, and I'm kind of interested to see how this works. All right, so I should be dead here. And I can spectate. There's a spectate button. KO'd eyes on the survivors. Wait, this is actually kind of sick. Okay, I like this change. They've been cooking a lot with this brand new update. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Okay, a little bug there, I guess, but I'm overall pretty excited. I don't know about the trade update, but let me know in the comments what you guys think about everything.